In the harsh winter of 1941, the fate of the Soviet Union hung in the balance. Adolf Hitler's Nazi Germany launched a massive offensive against Moscow, seeking to crush the Soviet capital and deliver a decisive blow to the Soviet Union. It would become one of the most crucial battles of World War II, the Battle of Moscow. The Battle of Moscow began on October 2, 1941, as German forces approached the outskirts of the city. The Germans, driven by their relentless blitzkrieg tactics, aimed to swiftly capture Moscow and force the Soviet Union to surrender. The German attack on Moscow involved multiple army groups. Army Group Center, led by Field Marshal Fedor von Bock, spearheaded the offensive. Their goal was to breach the Soviet defenses, push through the heavily fortified Stalin line, and reach the heart of Moscow. The German advance towards Moscow initially encountered little resistance, as Soviet forces were caught off guard and disorganized. German tanks and infantry swept through the Soviet defenses, capturing key cities and towns along the way. However, the Soviet Union was not willing to surrender its capital without a fight. As the Germans approached Moscow, the Soviets launched a massive counteroffensive. They established a formidable defensive line around the city, consisting of trenches, barricades, and minefields. The Battle of Moscow quickly turned into a brutal urban warfare scenario. The German troops faced fierce resistance from Soviet soldiers who fought street by street, building by building, to defend their city. The Soviet people, inspired by patriotism and fueled by their determination to protect their capital, fought with unwavering resolve. The bitter winter added another layer of complexity to the battle. The German forces were ill prepared for the extreme cold and lacked appropriate winter equipment. The harsh weather, freezing temperatures, and heavy snowfall hindered their progress and affected their ability to sustain their forces. As the battle reached its climax, the Soviets launched a massive counteroffensive. General Georgy Zhukov, along with the other Soviet commanders, organized a strategic and coordinated assault on the German flanks. The Red Army, supported by fresh troops and supplies, pushed back the German forces and began to regain the lost ground. The relentless Soviet counteroffensive and the inability of the Germans to capture Moscow dealt a severe blow to the German forces. By the end of December 1941, the Germans were forced to retreat, marking a significant turning point in the war on the Eastern Front. The Battle of Moscow had far reaching consequences. It shattered the myth of German invincibility and demonstrated the resilience and determination of the Soviet Union. The Soviet victory at Moscow boosted the morale of the Allied forces and shifted the momentum in favor of the Allies on the Eastern Front. The failure to capture Moscow also meant that the Germany had to divert its forces, leading to a prolonged war on the Eastern Front. This allowed the Allies to regroup, strengthen their forces, and ultimately turn the tide of the war in their favor. The Battle of Moscow stands as a testament to the courage and tenacity of the Soviet people.